Hey Excel, this is James Means coming to you live from my house at my kitchen table. Um, I would say stay inside, but if you're on Facebook and social media like I am, uh, y'all are putting houses under contract and still showing and still killing it, which is awesome. Life is still going on. It must still go on. People need a place to live. So do so with precautions. If you've got a mask, do a mask. Wear a mask. If you've got gloves, do gloves. If you're working with buyers, ask them not to touch anything when they go into a house. I've asked my sellers to cut all the lights on, open up closet doors to minimize the touch points that a buyer will have when they go through the house. Cut all the lights on for the sellers so the buyers don't have to touch them or cut them off when they leave. So try to take some precautions and be mindful of this coronavirus. Because if you're out there, you're subject to the thing can be in the air for like 3 hours, I think, and it can be on surfaces for hours, depending on the type of surfaces. So be mindful of that. But I'm coming today because I just got an offer, which is awesome, on one of my listings, and it's on a state contract. So sometimes I don't see them that much because we're very familiar with the CCRA contract. Um, so I reviewed it. I took my highlighter out. I went over what I thought was important that I needed to discuss with my seller, just because I'm not used to going through this contract like I am the CCRA. And when I got done, I called Candace and I just said, hey, is there anything I'm missing? Any kind of important germane issues, difference between the CCRA contract and the state contract? And so one of the things I went over with her, she asked me just to share it in a video with you guys, was the repair procedure part of the state contract. And it's a part that I actually like more so than the due diligence period in the CCRA contract. One of the things that caught my attention was that under the repair procedure part of the state contract, it itemizes and says what seller paid requests do not include. So in a due diligence period, it doesn't specifically say what you can ask for anything to be repaired. The state contract specifically says seller paid requests do not include the following items: home maintenance items, flooring, fogged windows, grandfathered code issues. So I'm gonna just stop at those two things. Fog windows, we're in a world, there are double pane windows. There's a glass on the inside, a glass on the outside. In between, there's gas. That gas promotes the energy efficiency of the window. Over time, the seal on those double pane windows will have a leak. The gas will leak out. And once the gas leaks out, the environment can come in. So air just comes in. And so as it gets hot and cold, the temperature changes between the outside and the inside of the house, creates condensation and fog in the window. Doesn't mean the window's not any good anymore. Maybe it's not as energy efficient, but there's nothing wrong with the window. However, fog windows come up on home inspection reports all the time. And depending on your buyer, if it's a first-time home buyer, they've never had a home before, or they just take the inspection report for what it is and they see a fog window and they want the window replaced. It's a very expensive repair if you're on the seller side, and it could be a big ask if you're on the buyer side if the seller doesn't want to repair a window that has fog. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like this on this repair addendum because it says that is specifically not a seller paid repair. Grandfathered code issues. Houses that were, code changes happen all the time. A house built in 2007 has different building code and electrical codes that were code at the time, but not code now. And so you don't have to bring grandfather issues to code unless you are doing some kind of improvement or you're tearing down a wall, or if you have to upgrade the electrical, then you've got to bring stuff to code. But if it's not code, if it's not code now, you don't have to bring it to code if it was code when the house was built. And I see that in repair addendums all the time. So here's my advice to you guys. One, and I say this, and I hope it's not true, but I know I have talked to agents that they may have read the contract, but have you really read the contract? Have you gone over it with a highlighter and made notes and asked yourself things? The take the time, read the contract, ask questions, consult your broker, formulate things that your buyer or seller may ask you, so you're prepared for it. Okay, so just wanted to share a little tip. Hope you guys are well. Talk to you soon. Stay safe.